It is 5 p.m. and we have a quorum present with Member Caputo is absent. It is being recorded, and do we have any comment on closed session agenda?
No comments for closed session.
Being none, we will recess into closed session. It is 6:01, and this is our meeting for this evening. We have a quorum present with member Mike Caputo is absent. And right now, we'll move that forward with.
Excellent. So before we start our Pledge of Allegiance this evening, we want to, on behalf of the school board and on behalf of our school district, we want to give a big thank you to all of our veterans and prior to Veterans Day tomorrow, and then also our active service members, both our men and women that are in the military today, for the sacrifices that have been given in the past and the sacrifices that people are continuing to give today to keep our country free and prosperous, and one of the best countries ever in history and the best country in the world as we speak today. So with that, what we would like to do as a district, we would like to honor one of our community veterans, and that is Kirk Hernandez. And Kirk, I want to have you come up here for a minute. I know in the military they have a coin system, and it's kind of a thank you from an organization or from a commander saying thank you for participating, thank you for being part. And what I want to do, Kirk, at this time is I want to thank you for your service, being part of our community. I know your service didn't end when you left the military because you've been serving our community ever since. So I want to thank you for that and give that to you and just tell you we appreciate your help. We'd also like to, before Kirk leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and we're going to have his son play the national anthem for us on his clarinet after the Pledge of Allegiance. But we also want to thank not only our veterans, but also our community veterans, but also in our school district, in our high school, we have a wall that has all of the military students that have graduated, joined the military, and are currently serving, or some of those students now, and there's a picture of it there on the screen, on our military wall are now out of the military and have the veteran status. But we just want to keep all of our servicemen and women in our hearts and in our prayers as we live in a very uncertain world today. So with that, Kirk, would you please do us the honor of leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Please stand and join me in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please stay standing for the Thank you very much. And Kirk Jr., thank you, and good luck on pursuing your Eagle project.
Thank you very much, and all who are here and who have served for our country. Thank you. We're going to move forward into reporting out of closed session, and we have something to report tonight in our closed session on a motion by Member Beneman and seconded by Member Polito. The board took action to approve the request for an extended leave of absence for the teacher employed by the district. The vote was unanimous. And the second thing to report is tonight, also in closed session, on a motion by Member Benjamin and seconded by Member Polito, the board took action to deny the request for a leave of absence for the custodian employed by the district. The vote was unanimous. Moving on to our approved agenda, do I have a motion, additions, deletions, and corrections?
So moved? Oh,
So he's,
So
so moved.
and, yeah, we're gonna second? And discussion.
Yes, part of the discussion here, I'd like to add two things to the agenda. We are sending several employees to the annual CABE conference in Anaheim in February. These is a professional development opportunity as it's funded through the CLSD and the MCAP grants. So just to add those to the list.
Okay. All right, those being added, let's go for the vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo is absent. Member Culp Senior? Member Polito? And Member Stroh votes aye. Now to the fun part, the wonderful part, recognitions and presentations. And the primary school is being honored tonight, and we'll have our principal, Veronica Ruiz, present the classified employee, Brian Koloski, and the certificated Shaladine Roth. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then give your wonderful presentation on the bees.
Yes. Good evening, President Stroh, Superintendent McCowan, and members of the board. We are thrilled to recognize Shaladine Roth as Primary's Employee of the Month for her outstanding dedication and unwavering commitment to her students. Shaladine's exceptional qualities as a Mod Severe special education teacher set her apart in every way, making her a valuable asset to our team. Joining Shaladine tonight is her daughter, Riley, who is a second grade student in the Bonsall district. Shaladine joined Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District from Chula Vista in 2014. She has taught mild mod special education classes at both elementary and primary school. Shaladine's infectious smile and laughter brighten up any room. Her positivity is not only uplifting to her colleagues, but also to her students, creating a warm and welcoming atmosphere in her classroom. Shaladine's ability to spread happiness and joy is contagious, and it contributes significantly to the overall well-being of everyone around her. What truly distinguishes Shaladine is her deep commitment to her students. She goes above and beyond to ensure that her students receive the quality education they deserve. Her dedication to their growth and development is evident in everything she does. Shaladine possesses a wealth of knowledge in best practices, interventions, and behavior support. Her expertise in these areas not only benefit her students, but also serve as a valuable resource for her colleagues. Shaladine is always willing to collaborate and assist when her coworkers encounter challenging situations. Her willingness to share her knowledge and expertise make her a reliable source of support for the entire team. We are grateful to have Shaladine as part of our team. Congratulations, Shaladine.
I just want to say that it's been an honor serving my students, and just want to say thank you.
Next, I'd like to recognize Brian Kowalski as our Classified Employee of the Month for his unwavering commitment to ensuring the safety and well-being of our school. Brian has been serving as a primary's interim custodian and is joined here today by his wife, Shelly Kowalski. Brian makes it his top priority to create a safe and welcoming environment for our students to begin their day. Whether it's a leak, a spill, or a smell, Brian is the first person we call, and he responds quickly to address any issues. His swift and efficient actions ensure that our school remains a secure place for learning and play. But Brian's contributions go far beyond routine maintenance. He is a true hero to our students. When wasps or other pests pose a threat, he fearlessly steps in to protect our students, making sure they can learn and play without fear. On scorching hot days, he takes extra measures to keep the students cool, whether it's by setting up shaded areas or setting up fans in the lunch area. One of Brian's most endearing qualities is his commitment to our students' happiness. He tirelessly retrieves balls that have gone over the fence or ended up in trees, ensuring that no game is ever disrupted. He is a beacon of support, always ready to listen when our students need someone to talk to. Brian's presence is reassuring, and he creates an atmosphere of trust that our students and staff truly appreciate. Congratulations, Brian.
We had dinner, Veronica and I and some other staff, and Melanie, I was invited to go to her home to have some snacks and just to chat with her and her husband and her 2 children. She lives deepest, darkest Paradise Mountain. It was around 5:35, and I said, Melanie, I think I got to get going. I said, what's my left turn once I leave your driveway? She goes, Shiloh Road. Okay, I got it. So I'm heading down this, there's no moon out tonight. It's dark up there. I'm heading down, I'm going the right direction, but I'm looking for Shiloh Road. There's no street sign for Shiloh Road. I drove instinct told me that the solid yellow line on this road to the left was a busy road. You couldn't cross it. So I'm thinking, that must mean something. And it ended up on Paradise Mountain Road. So I got my right turn, drove like a madman to get here when I got here. But I'll tell you what, I haven't been on Paradise Mountain Road in 20 years. I didn't recognize it, and she lives in a beautiful place. So it was a nice visit, but glad to be here. My background is construction, 40 years. Most of it, how it worked out, I worked by myself. So you had to make things happen that weren't there. And amongst everything else, it molded me into the person I am now, which to me is a great fit as a day custodian at a school. You can't sit there and wait for it. You have to make it happen. And my days are very busy. My days go by very quickly. It's a pleasure to work with a bunch of excellent professionals. Success breeds success. And so happy to be there. Very proud to be a custodian at that school. And very glad to be with this district. Thank you very much.
I just want to say on behalf of our board, this is just, we love these awards. And just thank you, Shaladine and Brian, for your integrity, your heart, and just helping those students where they are and making our district a great district. Thank you so much.
Can I go? Yeah, okay. Okay, so once again, good evening, President Stroh, board members, Superintendent McCowan, and community. Tonight, you will hear a brief presentation on primary's youngest learners, transitional kindergartners, and what makes them and the educators that support them so awesome. At Primary, we take pride in our growing transitional kindergarten program. This school year, we have 3 dedicated TK classrooms, accommodating approximately 52 TK students. This setup ensures a 12-to-1 student-to-adult ratio. What distinguishes our program is our unwavering commitment to delivering high-quality educational experiences that are aligned to standards that support the transition from TK to kindergarten. In each classroom, you will find not only one credentialed teacher, but also a bilingual aide guaranteeing effective support for all our students. During tonight's presentation, I will share key components our educators have focused on in recent months. These efforts lay the foundation for the TK experience and making the beginning of our students' educational journey. We believe that establishing a structured and nurturing environment is crucial for our young learners. Each morning, our students learn the importance of forming a line. This simple act is not just for safety, but also to instill organization and responsibility. At our designated breakfast and lunchtime, our students practice patience as they sit together, enjoying their meals. This fosters a sense of community and also teaches them about nutrition and table manners. Additionally, we understand that bathroom breaks are essential, and we have multiple designated times for this, ensuring that our students are comfortable throughout their day. And of course, we also have a designated time for naps, a restful period where our students can recharge and rejuvenate, allowing them to stay engaged and active for the remainder of the day. These routines are carefully crafted to help our transitional kindergarten students grow not only academically, but also socially and emotionally. As part of students' physical development, TK students work on motor manipulative skills, using their hands and arms to increase their fine motor skills. Tracing is more than just an activity. It's a crucial step in refining our young students' pre-writing skills and developing their fine motor skills, allowing them to grasp pencils and crayons with confidence. In Mrs. Ciccone and Miss Sylvia's class, tracing not only cultivates these essential skills, but also plays a pivotal role in developing fine motor skills, which are the building blocks for precision and control in their hand movements. It enhances their spatial awareness and concentration, two skills that are essential for their future learnings. What's even more exciting is that tracing letters, numbers, and shapes can be a fun and rewarding activity for our TK student. It's not just about pencil and paper, it's about boosting their confidence and sense of accomplishment. It's important to note that while letter recognition is a skill that is typically mastered in kindergarten, exposing our transitional kindergarten students to letters is about establishing a strong foundation. Letter recognition is a fundamental building block in the journey of learning to read, and it plays a pivotal role in shaping our students' literacy skills. Mrs. Klein and Mrs. Rosalia emphasize the teaching of letter knowledge through a holistic approach. It's not just about recognizing the shape of letters, it's about understanding their names and the sounds they make. As our students become proficient in identifying letters, they are better equipped to decode words and understand the text they encounter. This skill is the foundation upon which we build the love of reading and lifelong literacy. When visiting Mrs. Bennett and Ms. Flor's class, you'll be able to recognize that our young learners' education is far more than sitting at a desk and listening to lecture. In our transitional kindergarten program, we understand the significance of learning through play as an integral part of our social and emotional learning. We make use of realia and manipulatives, incorporating real-life objects and interactive materials that turn the process of letters and number recognition into an engaging and interactive adventure. Our students don't merely memorize letters and numbers, they experience them in their everyday lives. They touch and feel the shape of letters and numbers using their hands to explore and understand the world of academics. Though Through the use of these real-world objects and manipulatives, we bridge the gap between theory and practice, allowing students to take greater initiatives in making new discoveries. But our approach goes even further. We place a strong emphasis on the value of working together. Collaborative learning is woven into our curriculum, encouraging students to share their discoveries, learn from their peers, and build critical thinking skills. As they work together, they not only reinforce the understanding of academics, but also develop an essential teamwork and communication skills. In closing, I want to emphasize the profound significance of these foundational and beginning stages of our students' educational journey. We firmly believe that the foundation we build here in our transitional kindergarten program is the cornerstone upon which they will construct their future. These initial steps in routines, motor development, letter recognition, and learning through play are not just academic milestones, they are the building blocks of their educational experience. At primary school, we don't just teach. We inspire, we nurture, and we set the stage for a lifetime of learning. Thank you for this opportunity to showcase one of the many awesome things we do at primary. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that wonderful, delightful presentation. I want to be in TK. It looks like it's
It's a lot of
fun, and you
fun.
guys are doing a great job to start them off on just a great start for our great schools.
Thank you, President Stroh.
Anybody have anything else? Okay, we will move forward, and if you came here tonight just for the presentations, feel free to leave, but we want to welcome you to stay for the rest of our business part of our meeting. So if you'd like to leave, you may, or you can stay. And thank you to all primary staff that are here supporting your colleagues. Okay. Moving forward now to request to address the board, and I have, I'm going to read this first, as I do have one person. Members of the public are encouraged to attend the board meetings and to address the board concerning any item on the agenda or within the board's jurisdiction. In order to conduct district business in an orderly and efficient manner, the board requires the public presentation to the board comply with our board bylaw 9323, including the following. Members of the public wishing to address the board must complete a request to address the board card prior to the meeting and give it to the board secretary. The board president will recognize each person who has requested to address the board at the proper time and invite them to speak from the podium. The speakers are asked to announce their name prior to addressing the board. All comments are limited to a total, or to a 3 minutes per person or 20 minutes per item. The Ralph M. Brown Act limits the Board of Trustees and staff's ability to respond to comments on items that are not on the agenda. The board may not legally take action on any item not specifically listed on the agenda. And if there are any concerns regarding specific individuals, it is preferred that you not list them and you refrain from naming them publicly to respect their privacy. Thank you so much for your consideration. And we have one person, and it is Veronica Gutierrez Hernandez. Aw, and her cute
Can I start?
Yes, go. Thank you.
Good evening, Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District Board members. My name is Veronica Gutierrez Hernandez, and I have 3 children in the district: Abraham, 8th grade, Alberto, 4th grade, and Ariel, kindergarten. My daughter's a student at the B school, and I want her to remind the audience of what the expectation is at the primary school. What's the primary school.
Be safe, be respectful, and be a learner.
My daughter is not able to learn. My daughter does not feel safe. My daughter is not being respected. I am here today because my daughter, Ariel, was punched in the eye by another student in her class on October 18th while they were on the playground. She spent at least 30 minutes in the nurse's office with an ice pack on her eye, crying. Although Principal Ruiz was able to notify the parents of the boys who hurt my daughter, she did not contact me. Since the date of the incident, I have sent numerous messages to Principal Ruiz and Superintendent McCowan, and they didn't reply to my emails. Unfortunately, their negligence has allowed for a second incident. Yesterday, November 8th, the same student who previously assaulted my daughter pushed her during recess and said, "Hey, why did you tell on me that I punched you in the eye?" Ariel fell on the grass. She ran to the nurse's office and told them that she had fallen. When I asked her why she didn't explain that the boy had pushed her, she said because she feared him and that she didn't want him to do it again. At this point, the student is retaliating and continues to bully my daughter. It is the responsibility of the school administration to create a safe environment, and it is unacceptable for my daughter to be in fear. Today, I received a call that I couldn't take out work from Superintendent McCowan. Why did it take him 3 weeks for him to respond? I'm extremely disappointed in the way in which the situation with my daughter was handled and the manner in which my concerns as a parent continue to be ignored. And above all, I am a concerned parent fearing for my daughter's safety while she's at school. I ask again that you please help with me understanding what the protocol is when a student is injured and when it involves another student putting his hands or her hands on another student. Why is Principal Ruiz able to contact the boys' parents but failed to notify us? Please explain what the steps will be to take and prevent additional incidents from happening. Our kids deserve all of our attention. Our kids deserve better. The school has not only failed Ariel, but also the student who was bullying her. Thank you.
Thank you. And with that, we will move forward. Okay, thank you, and we will move forward on to our consent agenda. Do we-
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
President Stroh, this month it was my job to review the purchase orders, and everything appears to be in order at this time, so I move to approve the consent agenda along with the updated personnel list.
Okay, thank you, Member Beneman. Do I have a second? I'll second that. Member Polito seconds, and is there any discussion regarding this? Being none, we'll vote. Member Beneman?
Aye.
Member Caputo is absent. Member Kolb Senior? Aye. Member Polito? Aye. And Member Stroh votes aye. Thank you. And moving into Superintendent's division.
All right, well, we've got a couple of things we want to share that happened during the month here with our school board and community. One of the things we had is Red Ribbon Week, which is an anti-bullying week, and so we had volunteers from the Sheriff's Department who made a stop during our Red Ribbon Week to remind students of healthy and safe choices that they can make, and they did this at one of our school sites. We also had Halloween during this time. This is the spooky first graders, and you can see them, they're all dressed up. There was a field trip out to Bates Nut Farm, and Mark and I got to go out there for about an hour, hour and a half, and it was really a big hit with the parents. A lot of our parents were out there and had a really good time with their students. We also had staff dress-ups all over the campus. This is the Road Runners getting into the Halloween spirit, and we also have a picture here of the Lilac staff in the Halloween spirit. I think the kids really got a kick out of seeing the adults and their teachers dressed up. And then here is a shot of the middle school. You can see they ran with a theme there. And then also over at the high school, they had competitions between departments, and this is the front office department. And you can see the dress-ups there, and everybody had a great time, and some great events going on in the community during Halloween. Also, I want to give the board an update on our math curriculum adoption. So this school year, our district is embarking on an innovative journey to enhance math education for our students. A dedicated committee comprising educators from a diverse backgrounds, including teachers from grades TK through 8, a high school representative, the district TOSAs, district administrators, and instructors in English-only, dual language, and special ed programs have all been assembled. Since June 23rd, this committee has been diligently working to identify the unique needs of our district and to evaluate potential math curriculum that we can look at. After extensive deliberation and thoughtful consideration, the committee has narrowed our options down to 2 exceptional math programs that were ranked highly on ed reports. Envision by Savas, and here's the books you can see for that. And also iReady Classroom by Curriculum Associates. These curricula have been meticulously chosen to undergo a pilot phase, set to commence from late November through January, and then continue with the second pilot February through March. It is the hope of the administration to present our recommendation to the board by the April board meeting. In the weeks leading up to that meeting, we will have the curriculum that is chosen out and available for the board to view and then also for our public to view. This dynamic initiative signifies our commitment to providing the best possible math education for our students and ensures that we are making informed decisions about the programs that will shape their mathematical learning experiences. So we want you to stay tuned for an exciting developments as we pave the way for a brighter future in the math education in our district. I want to give a special thank you to Stephanie McIntyre, who is the Director of Curriculum, who's overseeing this project, and we'll have more updates as we go through it. What I would like to remind the board is as we look at these curriculums and we test them into the classrooms, we will come back with a recommendation. What we're going to talk to the committee about is, you know, this is a big investment for us, and when I mean investment, I don't mean the financial piece of the investment. I mean the investment of time and effort, and then in the investment in our kids as they start a new program for it to continue. So we want to make sure we get it right. We have 2 that we are going to look at very thoroughly. There's a chance that maybe those 2 don't match. We would go back to the drawing board again, but we're really hopeful after looking at, I think it was over a dozen different math curriculums, that narrow it down to these 2 and then give these 2 a shot actually in the classroom for a whole module, month worth, to look at, have our students experience. We'll see what our parents feel about it. We'll see what our teachers feel about it, and then we'll bring that information back to you.
Thank you. Does anyone have any?
Oh. No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go.
No, you go. I jumped too fast.
No, keep going.
Nope.
I was just going to say, I think this is a great asset to our district, and thank you for your time and expertise in moving forward with math. Math is challenging and admitting.
Excellent. And then I moved too quickly. This is the last announcement I have. Tomorrow will be the annual Veterans Day concert put on by our band and choir, and that will be at 1 to 3 in the Maxine. And they do offer a lunch at 12 p.m. So if you're available, please come out and help recognize and celebrate our veterans. Thank you.
I have a question on that. So they offer you purchase a lunch? Is that what you're saying?
From the band boosters. Yeah, the
Okay,
band
no,
boosters will
okay.
cook up a lunch, and
Right,
then
great.
they always take donations too for
Yeah,
the concert.
that's a
Yeah,
fundraiser.
but they
And
cook a fabulous lunch.
And that performance, if you have not been, it is amazing, and it's usually a packed house as well, but they do such a beautiful job with that, so. All right. Anybody have anything else for Superintendent McCowan? We'll move forward into the board will conduct its first reading of the following revised board policy and administrative regulations. These will be brought back in December 14th at our meeting for a second reading and for approval. New board policy BP 0430, comprehensive local plan for special education. Policy adopted and reflects new law AB 181 requiring the state superintendent of public instruction to make publicly available the special education funding to each local educational agency, LEA, and it generates for their special ed local plan area, which is called CELPA. And then the administrative regulation AR 0430, comprehensive local plan for education, regulation adopted and reflects a new law, AB 181, which extends the timeline for developing an annual assurances support plan by July 1, 2027. And newest administration regulation, AR 3231, Impact Aid. The new regulation addresses Title VII's impact and requirements. Proposed board meeting dates, 2024. This is a first reading, and this item will be brought back before the board on our December 14th, 2023 meeting for a second approval. And the dates are listed for 2024. Moving on to our educational services. Parent guardian survey results and summary info and tribal representatives' input on our Indian children living on Indian land. Dr. Mesa Batar to present. Thank you.
All right, good evening, Madam President Stroh, members of the school board, Superintendent McCowan, and our valued community members and colleagues. As part of our yearly consultation and partnership, we conducted a parent survey to gather information from our Native American parents and guardians in regards to our programs. Please note that this survey has been indigenized with the collaboration of our wonderful Title VI committee, Ms. Katrina Coyote, Ms. Shanna Bohorgas, Dr. Elena Hood, and our one and only Mr. Mark Halewood. The survey included 21 questions sent to parents and guardians, 2 of which were open responses. The themes of the questions ranged from the school's focus on improving student achievement, to school climate, to communication, to how parents and students feel at school. Parents and guardians were given the choice to complete the surveys digitally through a QR code or a link, as well as a hard copy. For the convenience of our families, we have provided a self-addressed stamped envelope along with the survey. We mailed 483 surveys. And out of the 483 surveys, 60 surveys were returned. The percentage of the return surveys for this year was 12.42% compared to last year's 8.1% and 3% of the year before.
Wow.
So we're doing
Wow,
great.
Nice.
Yes. We appreciate all the input that we've received from our families and are looking forward to continuing our collaboration. Hopefully next year we'll have higher than 12.42. What really helped us is we did send email reminders every Monday, so that helped a lot too. All right, so the majority of the return surveys were from families of students in grades 9 through 12, 35%, followed by families of students in grades 6 through 8 with a percentage of 26.7. The survey included a representation from all of our schools, with a majority submission made by Valley Center High School, 31.7%, followed by middle school, 25%. When asked whether families were aware of the Title VI services, 77% said yes. When asked whether the Title VI Native American programs help students' academic progress in reading, language, and/or math, 50% agreed or strongly agreed, 35% stated neutral. When asked whether families have been involved in students' classroom or school, the majority reported no with 31.6%, followed by occasionally with 30%. And this kind of makes sense because knowing that 61.1% of our families that completed the surveys were guardians of secondary schools as students, grades 6 through 12, and you know families are usually involved with the younger kids. When asked about the extent of growth that students has shown in reading comprehension, and I'm very happy with this, 91.6% of our families reported that their students have shown satisfactory or excellent growth. And when asked about the extent of growth their students has shown in mathematical and problem-solving skills, 88.3% of our families reported that their students have shown satisfactory or excellent growth. When asked whether families are given information regarding students' progress and/or additional services that students may be eligible for, 41.6 agreed or strongly agreed, 31.7 stated neutral. And when asked about the frequency of receiving information regarding students' progress from teachers, the majority reported weekly with a percentage of 41.7. When asked about the main reason that keeps our families from attending the Title VI meetings, the majority of the responses reported day and time of meeting, 43.3%, followed by I attend most of the time, 15%. So I'm hoping for next time, we probably have to leave an option of what is the best time and what is the best day and see what the majority says. When asked whether the schools invite families' comments and/or feedback, 85% reported yes or somewhat. And when asked whether the school is a welcoming place, 98.3% reported yes or somewhat. When asked whether students, their student's school has a system in place to voice questions or concerns, 87.7% reported yes or somewhat. When asked about the communication method that their student's school uses to deliver information to families, the majority said emails and websites with a 78.3%, followed by telephone with a 61.7%. When asked about the preferred communication method that schools could use to deliver information to families, the majority said email and website with an 88.3%, followed by telephone, 60%. What is nice is our current practices align with parents' preferences, so that's a good thing too. Please note that question 16, which is coming next, we figured what if we did not list every single way or method, so we just ask parents, is there something that you'd like that we're not providing? And what we did is we took all the suggestions for additional ideas for communication that have not been listed, and the responses were put into categories. When asked about the preferred communication method the schools could use to deliver information to families, the majority, again, reported emails, 41.8%, followed by telephone, which is 27.3%, alignment throughout. When asked whether parent informational meetings or activities have improved the academic progress of students, the majority of the responses reported neutral, 56.6%, followed by strongly agree or agree, 30%. When asked whether families have been given suggestions to use at home to support their students with schoolwork, the majority of guardians reported no, with a 56.7%, and this definitely indicates an area of growth for us, so we will work on that. When asked about the frequency families are willing to attend training sessions and/or parent theme nights, the majority reported quarterly with a 41.4%, followed by not at all, 22.4%. When asked about the frequency of accessing the VCPUSD website, the majority reported weekly, 30%, followed by occasionally, 26.7%. And please note that question 21, which is coming up, is an open response question. We got so many answers, so I tried to put them in categories. When asked about recommendations to improve services and supports at our school site, our families offered many suggestions. The majority of the suggestions or responses were cultural recommendations, better communication, college and career readiness, recommended services, and parent involvement. This year was different than the previous years. We had a pre-meeting with tribal representatives in September to go over the title funds and review the Indian policies and protocols. We met again in October, and that was a long meeting. It was like 3.5 hours to continue our work in reviewing and revising the Indian policies and procedures. We are grateful for the wonderful collaboration and great feedback that our committee offered. During the meetings, we shared information and data about our programs and VCPUSD, at VCPUSD, and we obtained input from attendees on what is working and what are areas that we can do better. The tribal representatives were provided with a digital binder that included many documents, but were not limited to the district's LCAP plan, the district uniform complaint procedures, the Indian policies and procedures, the school accountability report cards, Native American data, and many, many more. And the digital binder is also found on the website for everyone to see. It's a public document. The feedback provided to our district by tribal representatives was categorized by what is working and areas of growth. The slide shows that slide, the one that we have here, it shows that tribal representatives noted that the overall outreach to families has improved. They also noted that they appreciated the collaboration with the Ed Centers and the presence of Title VI spaces at each of our schools. The committee shared areas of growth and provided recommendations. We also extended the opportunity to provide input for our Indian policies and procedures outside the meeting by sending all appointed representatives, as well as our families, a link to the form so they can provide feedback. And this was during the period starting on Wednesday, September 27th to Tuesday, November 1st. And based on the large group discussion during the meetings, the committee recommended meeting more during fall and spring and reporting on students' participation in extracurricular activities, alternative education, students with IEPs, and advanced programs. We would like to end this presentation by thanking our Native American families who took the time to complete the survey. We also would like to thank the tribal representatives, La Jolla, San Pascual, Palma, Pala, and Rincon Education Centers, their directors, and all the staff for their appreciated partnership. We have encountered many challenging times, but the collaboration has always continued. A special thank you to our wonderful Title VI members for all the support they have provided in bringing our Title VI meetings to the Title VI spaces at our schools, and so we can meet and collaborate in person. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the very thorough report. Does anyone have anything?
Any questions?
I had one. So obviously the 12% return is better than what it's been, but it's still only 12%. Any new revolutionary ideas of how we can get more people to return them?
Yes, so we're, I started the texting, and I've noticed I got more at the end. So texting is going to be one thing that we're going to do. We also talked about taking the surveys to public places like libraries on the reservations and places that parents go to. The Ed Centers are going to help us collect more, so hopefully we'll get more than 12.4. But let's celebrate the successes. It is a success. Yes.
Yeah, I was looking at it as like 3%, and then we doubled and went to 6, 7%, and then we doubled that to 12, now 24, 48, whatever.
And more
We
to
keep
come, more to
going.
come. We never
Yeah,
stop. Yes.
Yeah, but I appreciate that. I mean, there was a lot of great percentages, and the 91%,
I know.
98%.
Yes.
Excellent. So
And
thank
we
you.
talked about meeting with our families in town halls too, on the reservations,
Oh,
to
nice.
give them another platform to get input and hear them, hear the voices. Yeah? All right.
Thank
thanks.
you for all your time, effort, and that
absolutely, of course.
collaboration, and to that community as well. Thank you. Okay. Thanks. Oh, I'm like, hello. Okay, I'm going to move on to the public hearing. Yeah. Okay, the public hearing and a first reading on our Indian policies, procedures, 2023-2024. This will be brought back in December 14th at that meeting for a second public hearing, after which the board will consider this item for approval. And it is 6:51. I will gavel in. And are there any requests to speak on this matter? Being none, I will gavel out, time out. And we will move into the presentation release CAAS PP data. Assistant Superintendent Mark Harewood to present. Thank you.
Thank you, President Stroh, members of the board, Superintendent McCowan, district staff, and guests. Appreciate the opportunity to present some updates regarding the California Assessment of Student Progress and Performance, commonly referred to as the CASP. So what I'll be presenting to you tonight is data from the 22-23 school year. Each year, students in grades 3 through 8 in high school take end-of-year state assessments in English language arts, mathematics, science, and as applicable, proficiency in English language. These results are shared with our district in 3 different ways. Initially, towards the end of the summer, in August, we receive individual student scores. In October, so just recently, we received the results certified by the state for school and district level results. And then in December, those same results are incorporated into the California School Dashboard. The data I will be sharing tonight is now available to the public on the CASP website, listed here on the screen, and will also be listed on our district websites. And again, the focus here with the October release is really moving from individual scores to what our data on these assessments looks like at a school and district level overall. So to match with the way the information is presented on the state CASP website, here you see the percent of students who met or exceeded standards for our whole district in both English language arts and mathematics. As you can see, we did see some small increases at the district level from the previous 21-22 school year shown at the bottom. Meeting or exceeding standards in English language arts went from 29.63% to 30.57%. For mathematics, we see a slightly larger increase from 15.72% to 17.15% of students, again, district-wide, meeting or exceeding standards in this area. We still have a lot of growth and areas that we need to work on, but it is good to see some small increases and definitely moving forward in a positive direction as opposed to declining in the other way. Our district admin, teachers, and staff have been in the process of looking at our 22-23 results since the data has been available at the end of the summer. This has been done at many levels, school site levels, grade levels, and looking at student groups. This work is important and impactful as it guides the school level and student level work done. For our purposes tonight, in this table, you can see an overview of some of the areas of growth from the previous assessment year. So again, this would be the areas of growth from the 22-23 year compared to the 21-22 school year. Several of our school sites saw small increases, with Valley Center Elementary School seeing an increase in both language arts and math by more than 3%, and then Valley Center High School seeing an increase of more than 10% in both of these areas. Small increases were seen in grades 3, 4, and 7, with larger increases in grades 8 and grades 11 district-wide in these areas. Reviewing our data at the student group level as a district, we see growth for students with disabilities in English language arts and socioeconomic disadvantaged students in math. Growth by Native American and Hispanic students in both areas, and white students in English language arts. So we do have some areas of growth that I think are very important to note, and really happy that as a district we are moving some of these areas forward. Looking at these areas is very important, but we also want to acknowledge those areas where maybe the results are different between student groups. So at the bottom here you can see that although growth was seen for many groups, there are still some groups with a lower meeting or exceeding standard level overall when compared to the district performance. So we definitely want to focus on these areas. The work done the past year that's continuing into this year with students with disabilities, socioeconomic disadvantaged students, English learners, homeless, and Native American students will continue into this school year. With the expectation that through the hard work of our students and our school community on the whole, we're hoping that these gains that are noted will continue as students take the assessments at the end of this school year. The CASP results also include the California Science Test, or CAST, taken by students in grades 5, 8, and currently grade 11. Here you can see 30.18% of our students in those grades met or exceeded the next generation science standards, but also of note is the 53.94% of students who nearly met standards. So, from my data view, kind of what I'm seeing is, hey, we've got about a little less than a third of our students who are already there, but we've got a very large chunk of students who are almost there. And so that will be our area of focus. And as you've heard as a board before, looking at different curriculums that we're working on throughout our district in science, I think will move a large number of those students into that meet or exceeds area. The English Language Proficiency Assessment for California, or commonly referred to as the ALPAC, is a K-12 assessment given to students for whom English is not the primary language when they joined our school district. The assessment covers proficiency in listening, speaking, reading, and writing. One thing that's really important about this assessment is, unlike other assessments, results here are provided to inform our district of how we can best support English learners, rather than saying, for example, it's perfectly appropriate that 16.87% of our students are proficient. That's where we currently are, and we receive that information because every student's coming into our district with a different level. So really, from a goal area, we want to see progress and growth. We're not necessarily looking at a target number. And then when I do come back and present the California dashboard, when it's released later this December, that will be one of the measures that will be presented to you as a board and to the public, would be the progress of our English learners as they take this ALPAC assessment. That's not currently available at this time. Having the results and the data is one small piece of the process that our staff and school leaders engage in. With this public release, we can now move and support our teacher and site teams in going from overall scores to a deeper claim level, showing and instructional areas that can be supported in the classroom for groups, for classes, for even at the individual level. For example, you can see here an overall score is broken down into claim areas, and those claim areas in English and Language Arts really do relate to specific things that are done at an instructional level. For example, if we see Valley Center Elementary students in the listening area who are maybe performing in an area we need to work on, then we know that, and then someone like Mr. Convitli can work with his staff in making sure we are incorporating more of those tasks into the classroom regularly so that we can address that and, again, hopefully see more growth. Some other areas that we're kind of bringing in, and again, a lot of this work continued from last year, is really looking at our systems of intervention, commonly referred to as multi-tiered systems of support. So having intervention teachers placed at our school sites that are, again, we're using this data and using data from the classroom can address directly students' needs, that we would hope to see continue when those assessments take place, to see students performing at the appropriate level. Getting all of this information into the hands of our school sites and our teachers is part of our PLC response process. So having our teachers are the first round of instruction, right? They're the ones who are giving that instruction. So we want them to have all of this information so that, with guidance of their site principals and the TOSAs in our district, they can make sure that all of these things are being addressed in the classroom. And then our ongoing preparation that really was a great start to it last year, where we're really saying, hey, all of these assessments are based on standards. And so our goal as a district is to make sure we are doing the best possible instruction related to standards. So, continuing that work, making sure students in the classrooms are seeing examples of questions that will be on these assessments when they come up at the end of the year. As mentioned previously, our CASP data will be presented to the board and our community again when the California School Dashboard for 22-23 is released later this December. This year, all measures listed here will be reported on. Reporting will return to the color-coded measures that some of you may remember. It's been a while. Where the great thing about these measures is they take into account not only our performance, but also compare our performance to previous years. So it really is kind of a nice measure of overall progress. The college and career indicator will now be brought back onto the dashboard, but that one will be reported as status only due to it not being reported in recent years. All of the information and data presented tonight, as I said, is available publicly on the CASP website. And although we only have enough time now just to look at a summary of the results, our staff has gone and will continue to go into much more detail to determine how they can best use the information available to inform instruction, support student learning taking place in our schools and classrooms. Thank you for the time to provide you with this overview, and I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Okay, thank you very much for that detailed, thorough, getting a little better report. Yeah, thank you for that. Lots of time involved in that, I know. all who were involved in that. Anyone have? Okay, we'll move into our business services. 2023 EPA Clean School Bus Rebate Program. Do I have a motion on that?
So moved.
A second? I'll second it. Okay. Any discussion? on that? Great, I think it's great to continue moving forward on
Yeah,
that, yeah. Okay, the vote, Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo is absent, Member Kolb Senior? Aye. Member Polito? Aye. And Member Stroh votes aye. Moving into Human Resources. The initial proposal of the Valley Center-Pauma Unified School District to the California School Employees Association, CSEA, and its Valley Center-Pauma Unified Chapter 795 for reopeners. This is for information only.
So this proposal is every year, as we renegotiate the contract, both CSEA and the district are required to sunshine. In this case, because this is not a full contract, there are 2 mandatory articles, that's salary and benefits, and that we negotiate every year, and 3 additional articles that we choose, which are listed in the sunshine. Typically, we sunshine at the same time as CSEA, and our local chapter, I will say, is ready. They have their sunshine proposal put together and but unfortunately it's caught up in the CSEA statewide bureaucracy. And so it's put them a little bit behind, but in order to start negotiating and moving forward, we do have to sunshine, and by the district sunshining at this point in time, we can actually start negotiations. And our first session of negotiations with CSEA is scheduled for next Wednesday.
Oh, great. Okay. Thank you very much for that. That would be good to get that moving forward. Thank you. And that moves us into advanced planning. The next meeting is the organizational meeting, and it will be held on Wednesday, December 14th, 2023.
Thursday.
What?
It is Thursday.
Oh, yeah, it said Wednesday, yeah. I'm like, what? That's a typo. Thursday. We always do Thursday. Adjournment, so we're good. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, and a second? I'll second. Seconded by Polito. And any discussion?
Nope.
Moving forward, we'll vote. Member Benjamin?
Aye.
Member Caputo is absent. Member Kolb Senior? And Member Polito? And Member Stroh votes aye. Thank you all for coming. Have a good night.